Welcome to the Human Evolution Podcast, where we dive deep into the science, philosophies, and strategies that create real and lasting change. I'm Ori Goldstein, and here we leave traditional self-help behind and map the real terrain of true personal development.
Hey everyone, it's Lee. Today we have a special episode of the Human Evolution Podcast introducing Shift, a new community brought to you by Ori and dietitian Brittany. If you're ready to start making real changes in your mindset and health, a link to join Shift is in the show notes. This was filmed in person at our latest get-together on Fort Lauderdale Beach back in September near A1A, so I apologize for any background noise, a lot of trucks going by, and just all the craziness that is Fort Lauderdale Beach. So hopefully this video is a great introduction to the community, and again, links will be in the show notes for more information about Shift. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, I'm Ori Goldstein. For those of you that don't know me, you definitely do know this amazing person that's here with me.
Oh, thank you.
And I managed to drag her all the way down to beautiful sunny Fort Lauderdale, where we've got an amazing team meeting because we've started our founder circle for our community that we're going to be sharing with you today. And so we figured the best way to do it was to get everyone together and figure out how to make the largest impact with you guys.
Yeah, so it's been really fun because we've been virtual for so long, and then we're like, let's get together, right, and really do this. And you're going to hear maybe some buses in the background, but
a little bit of traffic, barely noticeable.
But we just wanted to share again a little bit more about like why did the community even happen, right, and how did even we get connected? And I've spoken about it a little bit before, but I have even personally worked with Ori twice. Even the first conversation we had that wasn't even about me, I was like, this is life-changing. Then I actually met with you twice. And I'm a dramatic person, but truly, I mean every word. And so I think what really sparked it for us was, I feel like we do so much with nutrition and with health, and really shifting, hence the name, shifting your mindset around food and shifting how your meals look. But there's some things that we just can't touch, right? Like we can talk about mindset, but there's only so far that my skills go. And so I felt like what was missing from my, team, or how we operate and how we help you really shift your entire life, it was exactly what you do.
So the way I'll actually start this off is, when we talk about our community, so we start off with our little group of founders.
Yeah.
And everyone in the founders will go on there and they'll say, I've worked with Brittany, I think that she's absolutely amazing. And then they say, it's just that little bit of mindset that is still leaving me stuck. And that is the thing that we actually mentioned on your podcast at the beginning, that you, however much amazing stuff you do with people, the one thing that you still find you get stuck with at times is a person knows what to do but just doesn't do it. And for me, it's the exact opposite, where I can work with a person's brain and I can definitely get them to a place that they know what to do. But at the end of the day, if your body's just not strong enough to be able to get the kind of results possible, your brain can tell you, I want to do this, but if you're just tired, feeling sluggish and completely out of it, you're never going to get the results you want. And your people have all this energy, but just are stuck at times.
Totally.
The moment that we put these two things together, and that is completely credit to you, the moment we understood the fact of synergistically we could change everything for so many more people, it just became a match made in heaven. And I can't wait to share it with people.
And I can tell you too, just the energy, I know both of us are very big about things feeling like aligned and things feeling like what's exciting you, and that's what you need to lean into. And I think the moment we were like, what if we had this community, right, where we're both contributing and we're both pouring our heart and soul into it, we could literally change everybody's lives. And we just see this as such a huge impact. It's going to be a movement. And that's kind of the purpose too behind doing a community versus just sharing it on Instagram or sharing it on YouTube or wherever else we're talking. We wanted just to reach you on a deeper level so that we could actually understand you and what you need individually, which is going to be similar to everyone else in the community, which then you get that community feel, you get their feedback. But we wanted it to be more specific, and that's how this community was born, and we wanted it to be really accessible. We wanted it to be a community that literally anyone could be in without the barrier of our one-on-one pricing is sometimes higher because of what we're offering. But how do we bring that to a more approachable space? It's important too to talk about shift, like why the name Shift, because I think when I work with clients, they think that what's really going to make a difference is the big things, right? I need to change everything. I need to change the way I'm grocery shopping, the recipes I'm making. I have to start exercising every day, and they make it this really big thing. And you think it's not going to be successful unless I do all of it at once. But the purpose of the Shift community and the name is that often it really takes those small shifts, right? You shift a little something at breakfast, you shift a little bit of something at dinner, you shift the way you're thinking, right? As the practical side, of course, we can talk about shifting the nutrition, but sometimes there are barriers that are going to keep you from making that shift, even if you know it's something you want to do. So I don't know if you want to speak to, like, what do you feel like are the biggest blocks that people have that are keeping them from making those changes that they know that they want to make?
Core tenets of my philosophy, and I think we spoke about it a little bit in our sessions, is that what I say is you're trying too hard. And
we mean that very lovingly.
Exactly.
Very lovingly.
Very, very much lovingly. But like what I basically mean by that is imagine, for example, that you've got the thought in the back of your head of, I'm a saboteur. I sabotage myself, or I'm broken, or I'm fat.
Yeah.
And regardless how much good advice you get, regardless how much you're taught what to do, if in the back of your head you've got that thought of, I'm never going to succeed at this, you're going to try, but somewhere in the back of your head you know that this has an end point. And the small shift I love making with people is if you can actually change that belief that you have that's holding you back, everything that you've learned from Brittany, you can finally get a chance to implement, and it just becomes your natural way of being. I hate about the concept of diet, and we haven't spoken about this directly.
Okay, let's get spicy.
Well, the thing I hate about the concept of a diet is most people go on a diet assuming that's going to be something that they finish at some point in time.
Right.
Whereas when I worked with people, my logic is, if you adopt a healthy mindset and a healthy lifestyle, it's going to be what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. You can obviously, if you're on a diet, you always have to watch your calories. You always have to watch what you eat. You always have to be worried about it. If you change your lifestyle, what happens is you can have a bad day within a life and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And the challenge is if you're always worried, if you're always thinking, I'm going to become fat again, this is not going to work for me in the long term.
That's who I am.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
You're stuck there forever, and you always have to be on guard. And that's the thing I've seen you mention in your Instagram stories so many times about the concept of that you can have whatever it is you feel like because you know it's not going to be the worst thing for you. It's like it's within a lifestyle, cheating is not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, it's necessary.
Yeah.
Having that healthy lifestyle as opposed to actually having that small shift that you have to stick with forever.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the other thing I'll mention is just from noticing from our founders is how much fear people have around their bodies.
Totally. Yes, absolutely.
And so I can just see for so many people the fact that you've just struggled for so long, that you've just given up on the fact that it's going to be an easy change for you to have experience.
Yeah.
You've developed all these fears, you've developed all these different things going on, and so we were talking about it a bit earlier. I was, for example, known as the allergy guy for a couple of years, where people would come to me for like years, they just couldn't eat eggs because they had an allergy to it. And within a matter of like 30 minutes, we did some specific changes in their brains. And what the changes always were was reconditioning the body to not be afraid around that food to the point that like, it sounds crazy, but like when you're not afraid, it actually changes you at a cellular level. And I would have a person that from birth never ate eggs that would go ahead and have an omelet in front of me. Obviously, we had the EpiPen ready if necessary, but we never had to test
Within
it.
reason.
Yeah, it was always
sure.
just like such an amazing thing to see how when you get rid of the fear that's causing it, you're not even just talking about just a change in your perception of reality. You actually completely change the way your body responds to the things you put into it in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. And show up, we do, if you work with us one-on-one, usually it's on, really severe gut issues. And it's so funny because I have some clients who they've hired so many practitioners, right? They've invested thousands of dollars and they come to us with like their last ditch effort. They're like, this is the last thing I'm trying. And so then when we start with very simple things and we address mindset. And you would be shocked at how much that shifts for people is just adjusting, okay, well, if you can change what you think is going to happen, right? That you're telling yourself of what will happen when I eat this food or what will happen when I drive to work. That actually is the shift that you need sometimes. It's not about the food. Sometimes it is, right? Sometimes about an overt infection. Sometimes it is some of those things. But if you've tried so many things, every supplement, every diet change, and you're like, what is happening? Nothing is working, that it's probably up here, right? These clients who are in a completely different space months later, hey, tell me about your symptoms, and they're like, actually, I feel really good. When are we going to get to work? Like, when are we going to do the big things? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh, when are we going to do the big supplement protocols and the big tests? And I'm like, well, how are you feeling? And they're like, I'm feeling really good. Okay, well, what do we need to fix? Right? And it just occurred to them, they just thought, well, if it's a physical body issue, it must be something that needs to be changed in my physical body, right? It's an overgrowth, it's whatever it is. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is. This community that you get more of the physical body stuff on my end in terms of nutrition and hormones, and we know how those types of foods interact in your body that are going to make you feel great. And then you have to bring in this component too, right? That mental component, the mental shift, if you will, to really make sure that you are actually healthy, full body healthy, for maybe the first time ever, right? Because we all see the other side. You were talking about diets. And diets, even if they change something in your physical body, it can create a whole mess up here, right? When your kid asks to go get ice cream, but you're on a diet and you say no, right? Or worse, you go and you watch them get ice cream and they say, Mommy, why aren't you eating ice cream? Oh, well, I can't, or whatever that is. And then what is that? Anyway, I'll get really passionate when I start talking about being a mom. But I think the beauty of that community is that you get both aspects, which you don't get with fad diets. You don't get with these latest trends. It really is true root cause healing from every angle.
And
right?
I love the fact, like it was a couple of nights ago actually that we were talking,
Yeah.
and we were just talking about you as a dietitian. You were like sitting there saying that the time that you actually struggled the most was when you were so stuck in your head.
Totally.
That you were like,
Yeah.
when you're so stuck up here, what happens is everything becomes a big deal. And just to think about the amount of stress hormones that you've got going through
Yeah.
your system
Yeah.
at every moment, everything you digest, instead of actually your stomach using all the energy it can to digest it, instead you're just stuck in the stress response and your body is on some level in fight or flight. I'll give in terms of like something else is like, I mean, when I had this practice way back when, would come to me and they would like want some kind of like deep hypnosis in order to like change something about them, and we'd just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And at the end of the conversation, I'm like, so that fear you had, and they're going like, oh no, I don't feel that anymore, but when are you going to hypnotize me and actually get the results?
Yes, it's like, when are we going to do the thing? And it's like, the thing's been done.
Things been done, I don't know about it.
You're healed, there you go.
And it really is. It's
Yeah.
those small little shifts that makes a
Totally.
difference. And like I actually like get to share with our entire community and hopefully you guys in it as well, those small things that make such a big difference. And the thing I love about creating a community around this is you don't need to be the person that even knows what's wrong with you, because someone else is going to have thought it through. They're going to ask the question, and we get a chance to share with everyone at once. Resonate with those lessons, and it's just something a lot more powerful that I've never really had the opportunity to work with at that level, where when I've got to interview the person, I've got to figure out exactly what's going on for them, and I've become very, very good at that.
Yeah.
But on the other side, when you've got 100 different people and each person tells you about their specific challenge,
Yeah.
and you help this one person, you've helped 99 others that you didn't even think about.
Totally.
And I'm just like super, super pumped about seeing where we can take this.
I'm so excited. Like I said, I mean, we really lean into, where do we want our impact to be? What do we want to spend our time and our energy and travel to Florida for, right? Well, you live here, so what do I want to travel to Florida for? And it really, again, from the moment we were like, let's do a community, who's been involved. We have a whole team here that you can't see that has made all of this possible. But it really is, there's so much like palpable excitement because they understand like what this is going to be, right? Even put into words like how phenomenal this will be, but literally we're holding nothing back in the community. So you're going to get up close and personal with everything about how we live our lives, or, how we help. And it's a rare opportunity that we get to do this for under what our typical price is, right? This launch, we talked about it before, which is now closed, but our founders got in at $19 per month, which people were like, you're sure, 19? Like, you want to go up higher? This is worth a lot. And we're like, no, that's good, right? We feel really like that $19 price point was good. And even to the community, we will then open up to the public, right? When we launch for good. I don't know the right word. When we launch again, get a price point that is just going to blow you out of the water, right? Again, for what you're getting, because it's so important for us to be really heart-centered in what we're doing, and we're so purpose-driven that we want to make sure that we can impact the most people and be as inclusive as possible. We don't want, price to be a barrier for any of this, because everybody deserves to shift their life, right? Someone put that into a commercial, right? And so we do have link as well. If you want to be notified for when we launch, there'll be some special pricing in there as well. Just so you stay in the know. We'll share probably some little tidbits in there too, I'm sure. When we're launching, and if you're like, I want to do this now, you of course can reach out to us as well and just gather more information about what it is and what we're doing. I don't know if we want to speak about a little bit more about what we know is going to be offered. Like you mentioned the hobby coaching.
Very excited about that.
Yes. Yes.
And then, like, I mean, it's camera's one thing, but Brittany is just absolutely natural. And like, so to like have Brittany go on camera pretty often actually, and we both will be there, but like, I mean, like I do personally.
Yeah. Well, this is our first time seeing each other. Well, not today, not right now, but we only met in person 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah. And then he bought me macaroons.
And that was what was necessary.
And he's won me over.
I'm telling you.
I love it. Yeah.
So like, I mean, talking about going on live for just a few minutes and actually just giving you an introduction to your weekend to get you actually feeling excited over what's coming, make sure that you're in the right headspace for it, constantly evolving it to make sure that we get everything we need, and that's what our founding members are there for, to make sure we get there.
Yeah.
But we said that once a month we're going to go live.
Yes.
Where
yeah.
it's kind of like an Ask Me Anything, not even like a hot seat, where people just ask us questions and we get a chance to field all the questions that come our way, or share something that we're deeply passionate about, maybe bring someone else on, someone that actually has something to share that we believe will be really beneficial for the group.
Yeah.
And we're constantly sharing stuff in the community, because the truth is, like Brittany said, we want to make this accessible for everyone, and we want every single person that's there to think, I can't believe that you're giving this away for cheap. Like, it's just, the whole idea I want here is, I want to make it into something that so many people feel like that they are stealing from us. Like, I give as much as possible every moment of every day, because I make a living, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that every single person there makes the shift, because that's what lights me up.
Totally. Yeah, seeing that success. And then I know for you, it's big, that light bulb moment. I call it the aha moment, and you call it the light bulb moment of just like, when we're talking with someone and you can see, like literally you can see that shift, right? Or the shift. I keep saying shift now. But
it's
you
crazy.
Can
like
see
you
that
call yourself
moment.
The cry, but like, I mean, like that excites me to like think about it.
And just happening for one person, right? How many other people is it happening to? But we shared, like I was in there sharing what I was reading, like some quotes from a book. And so I'll share what I eat in a day, right? There's just going to be a ton of bonus content in there outside of those live videos and such. But it's going to be an ever-evolving community as well, because it is about you. It's not about us. It is not the Brittany and Ori show. It literally, we are just here to help guide you into being the person that you know that you've always been, right? I don't want to say like a new you. Like, this is you, right? You're just showing up as the you want to be for the first time ever, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely amen. It's
For
just
sure.
like, I mean, conditioning that you're just stuck with. And like you asked about the biggest shift that's necessary.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like getting the heck out of your own way. And I think that between the two of us, we've just got like a very powerful way of doing that.
Yeah. You want to know something funny too? There's so much that I want to share that I have a note in my phone, and it is miles long, because I don't want to overwhelm people by posting like 10 times a day. But there's so much, that you even probably are moving through your life and you're like, oh, I want to share that with the masses, right? I want to tell everyone about it. And we don't want to do it on social media. Like, we will, but we want a community that is engaging back with us, that we get to know. So because the
that
more
we get a chance
to
to watch them shift. It's like, that's what
Exactly.
it's very, very selfish here. I want to see the people in our community actually shifting and knowing that we helped make that happen.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And then spreading that with the world, right? To build this community that we know it's going to be. Very excited about it. So again, there will be a link. You can get on an email list where you will be notified when we launch. You'll get special pricing, or again, if you have questions, we want you to ask. We'll help you out.
Or if you're on Instagram, I guess just comment in the video, just comment saying shift, and we'll definitely send you through whatever it is once we know that you exist and that you're interested.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There will be a link somewhere. And if there isn't, if you can't find it, just let us know and we'll get it for you, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Anything else?
There's so much more I want to share about beliefs and everything else,
We'll
and
be here for a
we will
long
be getting
time.
there.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a ton more I want to say, but basically all I want to say is I'm really excited about the fact that we get a chance to shift so much for so many people, and that is what it's all about. And I couldn't imagine doing it with a better partner.
Yes, I'm excited. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Love
See
you
you guys
guys,
in the
and
community.
love you, girl.
Yes, love you.
Yeah.
Should we kiss?
Hey everyone, it's Lee. Just one more thing before you go. Ever wondered how journaling could help change your life? You can find out by downloading the Emotional Alchemy Journal from the link in the description. It's a powerful tool for deep self-reflection, and it's completely free. And if you're looking to connect with Ori and learn more about how he can help you, visit his website at origoldstein.com. A link will also be in the description. Until next time, keep challenging the chaos within, be a little kinder to yourself, and let's continue to evolve together.